Hello and welcome everyone. We are in Cologne at Gamescom 2019. My name is Nims and today Nintendo presents a more in-depth look at the very exciting Astral Chain. Joining us today we have a very special guest, the director of Astral Chain, Mr. Taura. Hello Mr. Taura and thank you so much for joining us today.
Hello. お越しいただいてありがとうございます。こちらこそありがとうございます。Yeah, thank you really for having me.
Thank you so much. And from Nintendo of Europe, we have Filippo. Hello, Filippo.
Hi, Nims. Hello, everyone.
Now, Filippo, you're going to be talking us through the actual gameplay we're going to see today.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to stop me from talking about this.
Okay, sure. And on actual gameplay itself, we're going to be seeing Kave play from Nintendo Europe. Hello, Kave. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hello, everyone.
No pressure.
No pressure at all.
No pressure at
I'm
all.
good.
And we have our interpreter from Nintendo of Europe, Kaz. Hello, Kaz.
Hi, Nims. Hi, everyone.
Excellent. Now, we're just going to get straight to it. Mr. Taura, for the viewers who are watching at home, could you give us a brief introduction to what is Astral Chain and what it's all about?
まずアストラルチェーンの紹介から始めてもらってもいいですか？
はい、このゲームはですね、特殊部隊ネウロに新しく入隊した双子が主人公となって、プレイヤーは双子のどちらかを選択してゲームをスタートすることになります。
So in Astral Chain, players will start off by choosing between a twin brother or sister who have been recruited into a special section of the police force called the Neuron.
この世界の地球はですね、異世界から突如現れたキメラって呼ばれている怪物の侵略を受けていて、人々は異世界に飲み込まれつつあります。
So the human world is actually being invaded by creatures called Chimera. And they are actually dragging people from Earth into an alternate dimension called the astral plane.
でこの状況を打破するためにですね、ネウロン部隊っていうのはレギオンっていう生体兵器の力を駆使してキメラとの戦いを繰り広げるっていうそんなゲームになってます。
And this game is all about the Neuron who are standing up against this Chimera invasion using the power of legions.
Right, yes, that's a great introduction to the storyline, to the basics. What I wanted to say in the part that we are showing today, we are roughly midway through the game, and we are in a closed-off area of the Ark, the place where humanity lives. And in this part, we are looking for a gang of people called the Hermits.
Ah, right. So I think we're good to go. Now, as we're about to go into this battle, for everybody who's watching at home, Mr. Taura, could you tell us a little bit about the hermits? Who are they and what is the inspiration for a hermit?
ハーミットっていうのはどういう集団なんですか？またインスピレーションはどこから得たんでしょうか？
そうですね、このハーミットっていうのはこの世界の中では政府に見捨てられたはみ出し者のハッカー集団なんですけど、ひょんなことからキメラに立ち向かえる驚異的な力を手に入れたっていう設定があります。
So the Hermits are actually a gang of outcasted hackers who by chance have come into a power that's capable of fighting against Chimera.
でそれを知った主人公がですね、この操作の情報を得るために危険を冒してハーミットのアジトに侵入するっていうことになります。
And the protagonist who finds out about this power decides to investigate their hideout in order to find out more information about this.
そこでハーミットのリーダーであるカイルっていうキャラクターと出会って情報と引き換えに主人公の戦闘スキルを試そうとして戦いを挑んでくるっていうところをこれからお見せしたいと思います。
And what we're showing viewers at home is the moment where we meet Kyle, who is the leader of the Hermits. And he wants to test our combat skills in exchange for the information that we're looking for.
Right.
And the test that we are already getting
Straight away.
So for this initial part of the combat demonstration, Kaveh is only going to be using one legion, the Sword Legion, the first one you start with, just for us to make it a bit easier to explain what's going on. So the main character can use his police baton, called the X baton here, to attack in melee, and that weapon can also morph into a gun. And of course you can use the power of Legion. So you can summon your Legion, and when you do that, there is a stamina bar that appears on the screen. Right now it is red, it just turned blue, so it means that we can summon our Legion again. And when the Legion is out, you'll see the stamina bar starts slowly ticking down. So you're always on a timer basically when you have a Legion out. When the Legion gets hit, it actually loses a lot of stamina, or where it performs a special action. So So you really have to pay attention and dismiss your legion before the counter reaches 0, otherwise it takes quite a while, and you definitely do not want to be alone in that fight. Something that we can also see is that at regular times when Kaveh either dodges at the last moment or performs a combo, you see that blue circular flash of light. That's the indicator that tells you that you can perform a sync combo. A sync combo is basically when you can touch on your Legion button and you can basically make the Legion do a super flashy combo. And this sync attack is really one of the core of the gameplay mechanics for combat. You see those super flashy combos that you do in tandem with your Legion, so you're both attacking at the same time in spectacular fashion. You can trigger that in many different ways. You can, for example, trigger that when you wrap your enemies with the chain, with the astral chain, when you do a perfect dodge, and this all depends on which weapon you are using at that moment, or which Legion. So the combination of Legion and weapon will usually generate very different types of sync combos. And of course, the Sword Legion can also cut, as we just saw right now. And yeah, these combos are always like super flashy. If you charge or if you do different moves, you can do different combos. So now this part is over, and Kaveh actually showing us the other Legion, the Arrow that we have here, the Arm, which is the heavy hitter of the group, and the Beast, which is the fast-paced, fast movement Legion that you can also ride.
It's very cool.
And that's very good as well there to run away from enemy attacks. And there we go, we are against Kyle now.
Right, so Mr. Taura, Kyle looks like a very interesting character. Could you tell us a little bit more about him and his design?
カイロすごく面白いデザインをしてますけど、それについても説明していただけますか。
はい、このカイルっていうキャラクターはハッカーっていう設定で、その設定を分かりやすくするためにホログラムの映像を体にまとったデザインにしてもらってます。
So Kyle is actually a hacker, so I wanted that to really come through in his character design. So I wanted actually like holograms to be scattered across his body.
さらにこのホログラムの映像がですね、カイルの感情とリンクするようにプログラムされているので、ホログラムが表情豊かに動くっていうところもチャームポイントの一つになっているので、ぜひ見てもらいたいと思います。
And one cool thing about this is that we programmed the holograms to be linked to Kyle's emotions. So you'll like during the game you'll see a range of like facial expressions that Kyle will make, which I think is actually quite a charming point of Kyle.
開発チームの中でも結構人気の高いキャラクターになってます。
Also in the development team, he's a very popular character.
I can imagine so.
I really like the design of the character, and by the way, Kaveh is doing an awesome job at showing us super cool combos.
I was noticing that there was some sort of special attacks you can do with both your player and the Legion combined.
Yeah, those are like some of the best sync attacks you can do. So I just wanted to ask Mr. Taura, do we know what's behind the mask?
仮面の裏には何があるのかっていうのは。
まあそれはもうここでは口が裂けても言えません。
Yeah, so I really can't reveal that here today.
Okay.
You tried.
Yeah, I tried. But I think, also the air of mystery that this creepy giant brain has is quite nice. And like, are those cables supposed to represent here? Is it like a hacker, like fiber cable dreadlocks kind of style?
カイルの髪型っていうのはどういう感じのデザインなんですか？
そうですね、あれもハッカーとか電子的なイメージをモチーフにしてケーブルをたくさん髪の毛の代わりにつけてみたら面白いんじゃないかっていうところでこういうデザインにしてもらってます。
Yeah, so it's again related to his character setting of being a hacker. So we wanted to give him like a sort of tech visual appeal to him. So we use cables as his hair.
That's really cool.
機能としては古文のハーミットがたくさんいろんなところにいるんですけど、ここからケーブルから電波を飛ばしてどこに誰がいるのかみたいなのも把握したりするような設定になっています。
And actually, each thread of his hair is sort of connected to his the underlings in the hermit. So he can communicate with each of his underlings through his hair.
That's really interesting.
特にそういう表現がゲームに出てくるわけではないんですけど、そういったいろいろイメージを膨らませてキャラクターデザインを進めます。
So it doesn't actually have any role in the game itself, but we when designing the character, we kind of imagined him to be this kind of character.
I see.
Nice play.
They're very good,
yes.
Kaveh.
Yes. So this cool boss fight is over. I like that, like we knew we were going to start with a difficult one, but that's why we have Kaveh here to play for us. I would never touch the controller in this one because I would be not as good, although, I love to play this game. So we are now going to skip a little bit ahead because we don't want to spoil the story too much.
Right.
So we are going to show you what happens a little bit later after Kyle has given you its trust. But first, in a typical Platinum Games fashion, each individual segment is always scored and rated. So I'm curious to see what the game thinks of Kaveh's
That's why Kaveh's
gameplay.
quiet right now. He wants to see.
And we got S+.
Oh, nice play.
Very
good.
good.
Very good.
Very good.
You definitely deserve it. I'm gonna have to train a lot to reach his levels. So anyway, we're going to skip ahead, as I was saying, and let's just say that at this point we have gained Kyle's trust, and Kyle set us on the track of Douglas, which is another character that we have to track and find out. And to do that, we can use the Beast Legion. The Beast Legion can track scents. We have been given a suitcase that Douglas was using, and just like a very good dog, it will tell you where the scent is.
That's really interesting, Mr. Taura. As Filippo was saying about the ranking system, which is infamous for Platinum Games, Platinum Games also is very well known for its fast-paced action and stylish combat gameplay. With Astral Chain, there seems to be a lot of different types of gameplay all combined into one game. Was this something that you intentionally wanted to do from the start of the project, or did you naturally progress into that yourself as you further developed into the game?
アストラルチェーンにはいろんな遊びが含まれていると思うんですけど、それって開発当初から予定していたことなんですか？
いや、開発当初はデュアルアクションっていうところと鎖を使ったアクションっていうところにまずは注力してました。
So early on in development, we were really only focusing on the synergetic action and the action that's performed using the astral chain that connects them.
ただそれだけだとちょっと物足りなくなってきて、警察官っていうキャラクターを生かしたいろんな遊びを後からどんどん入れていきました。
But as this concept started to take shape, we started to think of new ideas to really expand on that. So we added more gameplay elements that worked well with the police setting.
で他にもアローレギオンを使ってオブジェクトを打ち抜いて、その結果道を切り開いたりとか、あとはアームレギオンで重いものを持ってそれを動かしたりっていうようなアクションもできるようになっています。
And for example, if you use the Arrow Legion and find things to shoot at, it might reveal new paths. Or perhaps perhaps using the Arm Legion, you can carry heavy objects and carry them around with you.
Yes, I think we saw a little bit of that before in the previous battle, yes.
前のところでちょっとそれが見えました。
そうですね。で今壁さんがプレイされた時みたいにどこをどうしたらいいのか分からなくなった時にはアイリスモードっていうのに入ってもらったらヒントが画面上に出るので、それも参考にしてもらいたいなと思います。
So in sections like this where Kaveh is playing, if players out there get a little bit lost, try turning on the iris, and then some clues or hints might pop up for you to know where to go next.
Right.
The iris is this augmented reality system
okay.
used to investigate and also to find out more clues. In fact, if Kaveh points at the arm, there it shows that, you should probably use the arm legion, like the arm icon there. The beast definitely shows us that it wants to get in, but we need to use the arm legion here in order to move this heavy door. And the same Arm Legion can throw those explosive barrels, as we saw there. So we start to see a little bit how each action that you can do, each tool that you have in your very large police-issued tool bag here is always usable in different situations. A lot of things that you use during combat are then used in exploration, they're used in the investigation. So there is this synergy, not just the synergy attacks, the sync attacks, There's also a synergy between you and the tools you have and the options you have in the gameplay. And here we find a big chimera. This chimera is a huge shield, so Kaveh has to use the gladius, this bigger version of the sword. It's one of the only things that goes through that shield and allows you to keep doing your combos. If he would be using the police baton there, the shield would stop him and he would never do these super cool combos that he's just doing now. Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite things you can do now. Yes.
Whoa!
Yes. You can wrap, you can do a chain counter. So you can use the chain to...
That was very cool, Kaveh.
use the chain to send them away. And you can also perform finishing moves.
Whoa!
Yes. So by using the finishing move, you see the Legion takes the core of the Chimera, and that replenishes the stamina of the Legion, which is this blue circle that you see every time the Legion is out, and also replenishes your life.
So what's this on the screen right now, Filippo?
Oh, that's a portal to the astral plane. The astral plane is this dimension from which the Chimera come from, their plane of existence.
Right.
And because we have Legion and because we have the astral chain, we can, as you can see there, be dragged by the Legion and by the chain into the astral plane.
Ah.
This is like certain death for normal people, but for Neuron, maybe there is a fighting chance. And this is the astral plane.
Ah, this area definitely looks a lot different from what we just were playing in. Mr. Taura, could you tell us a little bit about the astral plane and the inspiration behind the design of this particular area?
アストラル界についての説明とどこからインスピレーションを取ったのかっていうのをご説明いただけますか。
はい、まずこのアストラル界っていう空間に入ってゲームを展開するっていうものは実は開発当初は考えてはなかったんです。
So during early development, we hadn't considered the scenario of the protagonist going into an alternate dimension.
でゲームのプレイをバトル以外にもいろいろ盛り上げたいなと思って実装を進めました。
But we wanted to add more depth to the game, in areas other than just the combat.
でデザイン自体は特別何かからインスピレーションを受けたっていうことではないんですけども、単調シンプルっていうことをキーワードに意識して作ってもらいました。
But we didn't take inspiration from anything in particular, but what I did request is that the design be kept simple.
でこの単調にした理由っていうのは2つあって、一つはパズル要素だったりとかいろんな遊びが入っているので、そのレベルデザインを組み上げるのに一番適した形状であったっていうことがあります。でもう一つはこの世界の設定に成り立ちに深くかかってくるので、今はまだ言えないのでプレイしながら探してもらいたいなと思います。
So there were actually two reasons for why we wanted to keep it simple. Firstly, it has to do with level design, such as building puzzles. Keeping it simple just makes for an easier process for kind of building on level design and puzzle elements. And the second reason is actually linked to the storyline of why the astral plane came to be. So I'm not going to talk about that here today. I hope folks out there will find out for themselves.
More surprises left for the viewers at home.
Yes. I mean, as you said, we are fairly strict on the no spoiler policy here. And this is why we are going to skip ahead once more.
Okay.
And at this point, let's say that we're going to go to a part of the game where we have found Douglas in the astral plane, but he escaped back into the human world.
Right.
So at this point, we have a chase.
Okay.
We are chasing Douglas, and we have to use again all of our tools and speed to get to his place, to get to his position. We can use the iris again by analyzing the CCTV footage that's like from those CCTV cameras. The augmented reality is going to basically display the hologram, the camera footage of Douglas running away. And so, Kaveh, run.
That was very cool.
And we are, of course, interrupted a little bit, but I'm pretty sure these guys are going to be dead before I even finish the sentence. All right. Where did he go?
Oh, there he is. Oh. the atmosphere seems to have dramatically changed. Mr. Taura, could you tell us a little bit about what's happening right now?
なんかちょっと異変が起こってるみたいな。これは何が
そうですね、これはさっき見たアストラル界が地球への侵略をしつつある状況なんですけども、なんでこうなってるのかっていうのは実際ゲームをプレイして、それまで楽しみにしていただきたいと思います。
So it looks like some elements of the astral plane are spilling over into the human world. Why this is happening? Again, I'm going to leave it for the players to find out for themselves.
More surprises for the viewers at home.
It's an interesting look how you see, this mix between astral plane and industrial kind of location. It's really cool and stylish as well. And here we see the most effective way to deal with flying chimera.
Wow. Very nice.
Using a special ability of the Arrow Legion and another S+.
Very good.
Very good, Kave.
こういう足場が細いところはさっきみたいにアローレビオンで打ったりするとすごい戦いやすいと思います。
So in narrow places like this, like Kave did, it's effective to use Arrow Legion to fire from long range.
Oh, nice.
I got this.
That's
like
it.
that's
I got it.
Here you see also those platforms that we saw back in the astral plane as well, making an appearance here as we get toward the end of this chase and everything ramps up into a climax.
Another CCTV.
Yeah. Pretty sure
there he is.
Pretty sure he went forward,
There
on the
he
bridge,
is.
but yeah. Here we see humans being corrupted by the red matter. That the red stuff that is on the floor is what the Chimera leave when they invade our world, and if humans are in contact with it, they can themselves be turned. Our Legion can clean that up, and just by moving over it, and by doing so, you can replenish the stamina. It's one way to replenish the stamina of your Legion. And
Oh no!
Okay.
Oh,
so the poor frantic woman. I mean,
save her!
yeah, I would be frantic as well if I was just, crushed by a giant metal door.
I think I'd be more than frantic.
What the hell is that? None of this makes sense. I bet my life it has something to do with Douglas. We've
So
gotta find
the
him.
voice acting is pretty good in the game. I really like the English voice acting, but for everybody out there that would prefer to play with the Japanese voices, those are also available, so you can choose
Oh, wow.
which one you prefer. And one last fight. Kave tried to do a perfect call there, which is when you summon a legion just as you're about to be attacked. And
Second try.
there you go.
Nice.
Avoid the attack,
Very cool.
and it also leads you into sync combos, of course. There you go. Wow, that's
Nice
pretty
sync.
cool one. Yes, nice sync indeed. And we also see Kave using special abilities like those rotating blades, or the fact that now Kave unchained one of the legion. These are all things you can do if you unlock different legion skills. Each legion has its own individual skill tree, and you can upgrade their attack power, their defense, but also give them new moves like that, and also new possibilities to perform sync combos. If you keep seeing the screen flashing, it means that Kave is very good. So, what do you think might be the most dangerous part of this enemy?
Well, I was about to say, I'm sure everybody watching at home can tell the giant flaming sword is the thing to watch out for.
Great powers of observation.
That's
indeed.
it.
I'm very proud.
Thank you.
Indeed, fire especially is particularly dangerous in this game.
Nicely done.
Let's see. Hey!
Oh.
Still very good. And as we move on now to the last part of this particular segment, of course, in Sinkave, who made us all proud with his skills. But we also want to show somebody else's gameplay skills, which again, not mine,
okay.
because otherwise I would get sweet D ranks everywhere, all over. But we wanted to ask Mr. Taura to play the boss fight of this level, the final boss fight.
壁の戦いも良かったんですけど、もしよければタウラさんの戦いも見せていただけないですか？
いやもう本当に素晴らしいプレーだったんで、僕もやらなくていいんじゃないかなと思います。
So Cave did such a good job that I reckon I don't really need to play.
But please.
そうじゃあでもせっかくなんで今日はちょっto play させてもらいます。
Since I'm here, okay, let's give it a go.
Actually, we can see Mr. Taura's
Oh my
character
goodness.
is a little bit different than Kave's character. Of course, he's playing with the twin sister here in this case, and you can see you can really customize your characters in many different ways in this game.
There seems to be a very interesting customization here, Mr. Taura. There's a cat sitting on top of your head. Could you tell us a little bit about this customization?
ちょっと面白いカスタマイズで猫が頭の上に乗ってると思うんですけど、これについては、
もうこれはもうなんでかって言われたらただただ猫が可愛いからです。
So why there's a cat on my head? There's only one reason for that, and it's because I think cats are cute.
That's a fair point.
That's enough of a reason, right?
That's
I
more
would
than
say
good
it's
enough
of a
reason.
Yes.
ゲームでいろんな形で猫が出てくるんですけど、他にも、猫を収集するみたいな要素もあったりするんですけども、もうとにかくそういうのは開発チームみんな猫が好きだからっていうところでどんどん入れてます。
Cats are actually scattered across the game quite widely. There are even some little games where you collect cats. But yeah, you'll come across a lot of cats in the game.
でもちゃんと犬も好きなのでこうやってビーストも実装してますね。
But I also love dogs, so that's why we have a beast legion here.
早速ボス戦の方に行っちゃいます。
So I'm gonna go right into the fight.
And actually, Mr. Taura told us earlier that you can actually pet the beast legion.
Oh, really?
So yeah,
Wow.
I can confirm you can pet the dog. Well, the beast in this case. Of course.
レギンを撫でることもできる。
そうですね。実際撫でれるのはもう皆さんがプレイしてる時に思う存分撫でてもらいたいと思います。
Yeah, you're absolutely correct, Felipe. You can pet the beast legion, but I'm gonna leave that for the players to try out for themselves.
Yeah, probably with the cat out there, with the cat and the boss fight, the beast legion was a bit
Yeah.
nervous over
I
there.
just hope the cat remains safe in this boss battle on top
Yeah.
of Mr. Taura's head.
I just wonder if the head is gonna be scratched, with claw.
猫を守りきれるんですよ。
今ね頭に猫を乗っけてるっていうことによって僕のパワーは300倍ぐらい。
So the fact that I have to protect the cat is giving me 300 times the usual power.
It's okay, we won't distract you in this battle now.
絶対守りきってみせます。
I'm gonna do everything in my power to protect my cat.
Okay.
もうここからはバトルに集中するので皆さんで談笑してください。
So I gotta focus on this fight now. So you guys keep talking.
Sure.
Just not to him.
No,
Let's
no,
not
no.
distract him.
We'll just marvel at this amazing battle.
Oh yeah, so here, actually, just one thing I wanted to say. The character, we don't have a dedicated jump button in this game. There is no button that makes your character jump automatically. But you saw there that Mr. Taura executed an aerial combo. This is because if you send your legion and your legion is in the air and you get pulled by your legion, then you also go in the air. And of course, like any action game that is worth its name, you can do air combos and you can do really flashy ones as well. You can really feel the weight of the arm slamming down on the floor. And big lasers, of course.
Wow,
Big lasers, always good.
very good.
So the objective here is we want to try to wrap the chain around the two legs and the two arms of this giant chimera, and that allows us to stun the boss and then be able to do some damage. Otherwise, you always have to be paying a lot of attention about its attacks, and you have very few moments of respite here. Beast Legion good to escape laser, and Arrow Legion good for shooting the boss at a distance. And of course you see that sometimes this boss is, as he's walking on the walls, there are all these panels on the walls that sometimes fall. And just like Kave did with Kyle before, we could try to use one of those panels and throw it at the head of the boss to stun him briefly. Here also we see another use for the iris, as because Mr. Taura activated the iris, That's why we can see the life bar of the boss.
Right.
Normally, you will not be able to see the life bar of any enemy until you use the iris. So again, keeping with the spirit of each thing you do as multiple purposes, or each tool you have can be used in different ways. He's pretty agile for being such a big guy.
Yeah, I was just about to comment on the fact that I'm really liking the fact that he's using the entire area and he's not a static boss in any shape or form.
Yeah. Actually, for people that have been following our shows at E3, for example, they might have seen a different version of the homunculus, a completely different boss battle that was there. This is the homunculus beta, so it's a bit different. And big sign.
Perfect
Arm
use for the
Legion.
Arm Legion. Nice. That's really
Alright.
cool.
There was always some humor, some tongue-in-cheek humor in Platinum Games titles. And there we can go for our last phase.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I like that fast punching combo with the Arm Legion.
So I noticed as well, Filippo, the numbers that appear, they sometimes are in different colours. So is it when they're in yellow, is that some kind of critical hit?
Yes,
or?
it's just higher. Yeah, you're hitting enough
Right.
crystals, higher damage. And
Whoa.
Very
cool.
Yeah, incredibly dramatic. The music, the rain, the light effects, everything like really makes it. This is how you make a great action scene.
Yeah, nice play.
Nice play. Very good. We're all waiting for the score.
Oh,
Yes, very good.
course, very good. Excellent.
We would not have settled for anything.
Anything
else, actually, here.
これ以下はダメですよ。
So, Mr. Taura, first and foremost, your cat survived.
猫を守りきりましたね。
猫守りきりました。
Yeah, I managed somehow.
Excellent job. And thank you so much for showcasing some fantastic gameplay there. For the viewers who are watching at home, do you have any last remarks you'd like to give them?
最後に視聴者に向けてメッセージなどはありますか？
そうですね、いよいよアストラルチェーン発売まであと少しになりました。でこの完全新規 IP の作品で見た目もアクションもかなり癖があるものになっているんですけど、このゲームでしか味わえない体験がたくさん詰まっていて、シナリオも音楽もアクションもかなり力を入れて作りましたので、ぜひご期待いただきたいと思います。
Yeah, so the release of Astral Chain is really right around the corner now. It's a completely new IP that has really unique visuals and gameplay, but this also means that we were able to pack in a lot of new experiences that players will only be able to find in this game. We've also put a lot of love and effort into the storyline and the music, so I really hope that players out there are going to have a good time with this game.
I'm sure I will. Really,
I think
30th
we
of
all
August
will.
couldn't come any sooner for me. Really.
But once again, Mr. Taura, thank you so much for joining us today. It's really an honor to have you here and play this incredible game for us.
本当に今日はお越しいただいてありがとうございます。
いやこちらこそありがとうございました。楽しかったです。
Yeah, thank you so much as well. I had a lot of fun.
Excellent, thank you. And Filippo, thank you so much for being here today and talking us
My
through
pleasure.
lots of elements of this fantastic title. And Kaveh, brilliant play earlier. Thank you so much for your gameplay as well.
Yep.
Yes,
Thank you.
It's better than I would do. It was
Nice
really,
play,
really
Mr.
good.
Nice play, nice play.
Thank you.
Very
I'm
good.
honored.
And of course, Kaz, thank you so much for interpreting for us today in this presentation.
You're welcome, Nims.
Excellent. And for everybody who is watching at home, this was the very exciting Astral Chain, which is releasing on August the 30th, which is literally next week. So we hope you guys are really looking forward to this title. But from everybody here, thank you so much for watching. We'll all see you very soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.